Hello, hello, good people. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you'd like to support the page, just subscribe. It's free. Just hit the subscribe button. Also, I encourage you to like any videos that just kind of speak to you or pique your interest. Make sure that you're sharing. Make sure you comment. I love reading I love reading most of your comments. I'm just going to be honest with you. I love reading most folks' comments. And I've already told the rest of you what I'm going to do from this point on. If you come on here talking some stupid shit, I'm just going to tell you to shut the fuck up. All right. And then down below, you have the correct spelling of my name. You have my IG information. If you need a little pop of news or you need to figure, hey, what happened in Venezuela? Were there some earthquakes? I heard about that. It's on my page. What happened with SCOTUS this week? How did they vote on this? It's on my page. What happened in the Oval Office the other day? What is everybody talking about? Yes, he fell asleep again. It's on my page. So just go to my IG page for any information like that. And then also you have my cash up there. And if you'd like to bless the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I've got a few other topics that I want to make sure that you are aware of what's happening, what's come out of SCOTUS this week. Number one is the rolling back of the termination of temporary status for Haitian and Syrian immigrants. Yeah, nationalists. And so what does that mean? That means that now they could be facing deportation, like immediately. There are a lot of different Haitian communities across America. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Little Haiti in Miami. There's Haitian communities in New York. There's Haitian communities in New Orleans. There's all over. All of these people are now subject to being immediately deported if they don't self-deport. And then you've got people who have been here for years because they were escaping earthquakes, famine, war, and gang violence, etc., especially coming out of Haiti. All of those people will be sent back to the same situations because it has not changed. It has not changed in their countries. So there's that. That happened this week in the Supreme Court. This just brings me back to my belief in expanding the court. The court needs to be expanded. It's heavy, conservative, and it needs to be expanded. Let's get some more judges there. And then also we need term limits. We need to get rid of Clarence Thomas. I think the only reason Alito is still there is because he's holding on until the felon or whomever's going to come behind the felon has a pick, has the ability to pick. Because we got to keep in mind, they're doing something to keep the felon alive. That's my opinion. And who's to come afterwards, we don't know. It might not be JD Vance because people don't seem to really like JD Vance. So maybe that's why it hasn't happened yet. But at the end of the day, I truly believe we need to expand the Supreme Court to balance these rulings. And then also we definitely need to remove the Electoral College, which brings me to the next topic. So this week, there was a bipartisan bill that was going to pass. The felon was supposed to show up and talk about it and give a whole press conference. And then he decided not to show up and backed out because he said Congress will not pass the SAVE Act. And Congress, the head of the Senate, has already told him over and over, we don't have the numbers. It's not happening. So that is why the SAVE Act will not pass. But because the felon is the felon, he decided, hey, well, then scrap it then. I am not going to sign that. If you send me the Housing Act bill, I'm not going to sign it. So there's no reason for a press conference. There's no reason for us to have a conversation. And he just stayed his ass wherever he was. So like literally they were gathering for this press conference and he just decided not to show up and said he would not sign the bill. So Basically, what you can take from this is the Housing Act would have bought more affordable housing to all of you, to all of you. It would prevented corporations from buying up properties. That would have helped all of you because when they buy the properties and they jack up the prices, that brings up the cost for all of us. So you'd have lower costs on housing, you'd have the prevention of corporations from buying up housing, and you'd have the building of more new affordable housing. And in the face of all that, the felon said, fuck Americans, I want my SAVE Act bill. Why does he want the SAVE Act? Because it will disenfranchise millions of voters and fuck up the midterms and fuck up 2028. Because his ass, somewhere in his crazy ass mind, believes that he is going to stay in office. He doesn't want to be impeached. He don't want to go to jail. He wants to stay in office. And therefore, the only way that that will work out, because he and Republicans know they're not going to be able to win through elections, he wants the SAVE Act. And if he doesn't get the SAVE Act, what he has said is, I'm going to fuck over Americans in regards to housing. Yet again, another way to give the middle finger to the American people coming straight from the Oval Office. He's giving it to you on healthcare. He said he does not care about inflation. He doesn't care about your grocery costs. Affordability, what's that word? That's just a made-up word. He does not care. And now he's proven to you that he does not care whether or not you live under a bridge or you have a roof over your head. That's what he ultimately said in the fact that he will not sign that bill. Moving right along. What's this other one? Oh, there's something that, I forgot to include this in the last video, so I wanted to make sure that you were aware of this too. So there's a human, a human flourishing initiative. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right information here. Hold on. Make sure I have, yes. It's called the Human Flourishing Initiative. So like how I spoke to you in the previous video about the whole taking over of the country by white Christian nationalists, this is part of it as well. This is part of them trying to get rid of the separation of church and state. Okay, so they are creating what is called the Human Flourishing Initiative. And the first location is a 25-acre campus. This is in Tennessee. Remember, I told y'all, it feels like Tennessee and Texas are in some hot race to become Gilead. They want to be the first location for Gilead. So a 25-acre campus that will bring state agencies, churches, and Christian nonprofits together under one roof. And where is this coming from? Oh, this is the explanation of this initiative. The statement is, okay, that the project's no wrong door model means that Tennesseans can enter the social support system through a church. Alternatively, they can enter through a government agency and, unbeknownst to them, be connected to a church network. So once again, trying to force people into Christianity. So if you come in for services, if you need housing services, you need food services, if you need health services, if you're unhoused, if you need drug services, if you're trying to get over addiction and you walk into this building for services, you also gonna get these church services, is what they're saying. You also gonna be forced to pray and practice Christianity, their version of Christianity, not necessarily the one that you might choose. So that is a new initiative. That is, first location is in Tennessee. And like I said, Texas and Tennessee seem to be in some weird competition with each other to become Gilead. If it doesn't happen in DC first, because the felon's face is all over DC. DC, according to people who that go there all the time, that live there, it's looking very different right about now. and his face is plastered everywhere. So the last thing I want to leave you with is some good news. Some good news to anyone out there that suffers from sickle cell. This is a disease that mostly impacts Black and brown folks. And so I want to let you all know that a 23-year-old in Louisiana has been functionally cured of the sickle cell disease. Now, we all know that the felon and his regime have cut a lot of medical research, but this is some hope. This is some hope, meaning that the research that was done prior, they got something right because they were able to cure this young man of sickle cell disease. So anyone out there suffering of sickle cell, I would encourage you to explore this more, investigate some more, and see possibly what might be able to be done for you. I don't know, but I wanted to leave you with a little good news. Okay. That's all I have on this one. I will talk to everybody soon.